Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. And if you're joining me for the first time, you're very much welcome. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back and feel free to source out the vibe. So before I start today's vlog, I have to give you a disclaimer, okay? Okay, my opinion is not going to be a popular view and it's going to, for those who are sensitive, you might as well, not watch this video and all. And if you can't stand the hate, you might as well get out of the kitchen, okay? Because I will be discussing on a very sensitive issue. But it will be an educative moment and a heart-to-heart discussion. Welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I posted here. And that's because I've been busy, gosh. So, I'm happy to be back. And you guys understand what this outlet does for me. It's kind of therapeutic to me too. So it's just a win-win situation. Oh my goodness. I just feel like I don't know how many of you have been watching the news or listening to the news. But here's the thing now, this is a piece of advice that has been working for me, okay? Call me a coward. I'll rock it with pride, alright? See, I'm very particular, conscious about my mental health, my peace of mind. Like, ever since I discovered that stuff, I've been doing it to the best of my ability. Now, sometimes I do it better, but this is what I would say. If the news is affecting you so negatively to the point that you're questioning yourself, your safety, which is to a degree you should to help you, to help you actively or consciously put things in place to protect yourself because it's necessary. But I just say, like, it's so excessive, like every minute of the day you keep on thinking of what is happening. And I get it, Nigeria is that kind of place. I feel like it's almost natural or comes natural to you. In this state right now, nowhere is safe. You keep on looking at the kidnapping, you keep on looking at the nonchalance of the government, you keep on looking at the utterance and everything, the rape situation and all. So the negativity is too much. I would say pray for Nigeria. But that would be a rather bogus statement to make, since it has been used loosely by not just our religious head, but also the government officials that have been putting us in this mess. So to this, I will just say, do unto you what best suits your sanity. And also, do everything in your power to make the world safer for you. At least to the best of your knowledge. It's all sensitive. So this is what I would say. You don't have to be watching the news 24/7. If you reach to the point, like what I do is I have a timetable to listen to news. Like in the morning, I don't watch news. I do my meditation. I, do other things. I dance. I work out if I must. I'm not a workout junkie, but I'm learning it again. I do things, I read, sometimes I vlog, sometimes I draw my podcast. I do a lot of things sometimes, like I try not to work every morning, but if my working is part of my hobby, that's the one I'll focus on, because actually it's actually helping me than being stressful or being work. Do you understand? So dedicate a little amount to how you digest the news, because the news, especially if you're in this part of the world right now, the focus on negativity is too much and the impact can weigh on you and you can be overwhelmed. So with that being said, I will give a disclaimer. Please, if you're so sensitive, this podcast, this might not be for you for now, except you really can digest it, like, because I'll make it as light as possible and it will be very informative, educative and interactive. So drop your comment below and tell me what you think, okay? So here's the thing. Okay, I've been thinking of this rape of it. And in fact, I should have come up here earlier, like I said before, but my hands were too tight and all. But this morning, I just had to, like, quickly drop some things. And I have to be very conscious about this because I know that 1 in every 4 Nigerian women, I will say two, 1 in every 4 Nigerian women has been taught as a kid. 2 in every 5 Nigerian women in secondary school be molested. And some the last day of their secondary school, and others we face it during the period of during secondary school. And well, 3 in every 5 students in university will be raped. So you do the math. And it's okay, I've realized this thing. We human beings, we have a little bit of narcissism in us. Okay, we don't, especially in this part of the world, we don't care until it starts happening to us. That was how the kidnapping started in different states, in far north, and some people were like, no, it won't come to Lagos, it won't come to this side, they are killing themselves, yari, yari, yari. Without the common sense to understand that if I can eat my own, that means you are nobody. I will consume you without any guilty conscience. But we don't think like that. Like, that is how we are. And I understand it because most of our thinking is based on survival, seeped into dogmatic religion, and also we don't question ourselves. It's like, I belong to this. And when someone who is at the extreme end of another religion does same thing, you don't have, I don't know, is it the wherewithal or what? Because let me just, how will I explain this now? You can't give what you don't have because you don't have it within you. You haven't um given yourself or demanded so much of integrity of yourself, so you can't also have it. All you just rely on is that, oh, religion, oh, because you don't belong with me, you are bad, this and that, and it seeps through everything. So I understand why some people will be nonchalant and feel like this does not reflect on them, or they don't need to care about this. Well, you should, because it might have happened to your sisters, okay, and you won't know. It might have happened to your parents, and you see, that's the thing. Even when Pastor Fato Ibo, I don't know where my listeners are from now, but if you don't know Pastor Fato Ibo, that's the owner of Kozak, that saga between him and Timi Dakolo's wife. And Timi Dakolo is one big Nigerian musician with a sensational voice. Like, he doesn't just preach, he walks his preach, okay? He's one artist that walk what he says, alright? And he's a protector. He's not necessarily your necessary alpha man, but your average alpha man can't stand beside him because he will fight, okay? And he's a protector, he's a provider. He's talented and good looking. You know what I say? So he is all those things. So some people couldn't relate to what was happening because Nigeria is a rape apologist country. Like, we practice rape culture, pedophilia is, we practice it, okay? And I think it is somewhere deep into our psyche. So somehow we manifest it because there's a pattern behind all these things. So this man really didn't care. He was one of the apologists. Like, he's the man of God, blah, blah, blah. Touch not your anointed, blah, blah, blah. And when he found out that his wife was not even raped this time, like, it was consensual. His wife was doing the pastor and also doing his daughter, and in fact molesting one of his other daughter. This man fled up. He couldn't hold himself. Like, who are you? I want to kill you. Like, you could see the beast, the rage and everything. And it's understandable because actually that's why it pisses me off when someone is talking about this. The person says you don't have to be emotional when talking about all these sentiments. And first of all, there's already emotion involved. There are sentiments in play, and it's not about good or bad now, because when you say good or bad, because people's average good or bad is let me be using you, let me be abusing you. If you could accept it, that means you're good. So I'm not, it's not about necessarily moral, because some people's moral etiquette is quite stigmatized, and the moral compass is quite shaking. So the person's standard might be fluctuating based on the person's personal bias, and I understand that as a human being. But let's just bring in common sense. Let us bring in something that, let's talk about right, something being right or being wrong right now. And I don't know why you have to experience someone violating someone you know before you feel something, or you stand up and see something is bad, because like I said, there's already sentiments involved. So I don't understand whose sentiments will you rely on now, on the side of the perpetrator or on the side of the victim. And I hate saying victim, but like it or not, you're the victim, especially if you're raped. Now, you might work above, you might work for yourself, you might work at not just being the victim but being a victory, and telling a story. But we cannot say the trauma, the psychological toll it holds on someone, the emotional, lack of self-esteem, unsatiable desire for sex, you necessarily you turning out to be a perpetrator, because especially if you were raped among people who you knew, because 9 out of 10, most of the rape occurs within people who you know, especially pedophiles, pedophiles. It happens amongst those you know. Okay, so you can imagine if that trust as a kid has been broken, who will you rely on? And some of your psychic might feel no, it is wrong, but because the way people reacted to it did not necessarily justify what was happening to you. So in order for you to make sense with it, I'm just thinking, okay, you turn out to either be the perpetrator, you turn out to either be a victim, like real life victim, like you hate sex, you hate men, you hate people, you don't trust people, lack of like it happens one way or the other, and people never ask what happened to this victim. So you see, it is sad when something happens to you. That's when you realize, you start holding moral countenance, you start start hitting your chest like something happened to you, start crying to the nearest person to help you. Meanwhile, you help perpetrate it by being complacent, by looking the other way. And yes, Nigeria, if safe to say, is a rape apologist country. Because look at it now, the pattern is there. There's a reason this keep on happening, and there's a reason why a certain set of individuals who are celebrities, who you think, as a result of the Me Too You movement, as a result of how woke people are this period, as a result of social media and how people seek social justice from social media, you think people will be cognizant enough to shaping themselves. At least you, if you're aware you're stupid, at least you should be aware of that you're stupid and you're not right thinking upstairs. Your friends must have relayed that to you. Your girlfriend must have. That's if you, except you're dating a dundee, okay? Or the ladies that just suppress themselves just because, in this society, you have to be dumb, you have to be seen and not heard. Again, at least it helps the rape, the perpetrator. Do you understand? So, all these things happen, and you see the pattern. Because right now, I bet you go to Bapa Ijesha's rape video, you would see stupid comments there. And you would think that with so much, I understand freedom of speech, but with freedom comes responsibility. A lot of people, they do things that, and you know what? At least those who take the effort to build a troll account, at least kudos to them. At least they understand, they are aware enough of what they are doing now, and people should be true to themselves. But the way people go here and talk, you realize that these people, the culture is steeped in rape culture. Even the moral is not, it is not so authentic. The moral was put there in order to suppress the poor, the weak, and those that feel can easily be taken advantage of. Not necessarily those who are the perpetrators. Because I don't understand why a grown man will sit on a throne and be sipping his wine talking nonsense. And looking at the whole thing, you're educated. So where did the education come? The gumption is not there. And you act like the victims don't have the right to cry out. How dare you? Like, if you can have trauma, if you are walking on the way and someone yanks your pulse out, the trauma it will cause you. Can even last a whole year. Talk more of someone comes to your body, takes something that does not like, comes your private part. So why do we preach safe sex before marriage? Because I'm sure we do. Just because you want the man to have a taste of a virgin or what. So it's not necessarily for the safety of the woman, right? So sometimes I question something. This makes me question some of our culture. It makes me question some of the popular beliefs. Like I gave a disclaimer. If you're very sensitive, this video might not be for you. But if you want to be educated, because I want to dedicate a week on a rape series. Because I feel like if I sit down on it, go and I can't really touch on everything, I won't do justice to it. And that's part of the reason I didn't also record, because I wanted to take my time. I don't want to rush the things. Plus, it would be highly insensitive of me to make light of a situation, a serious situation that is affecting millions of women, that somehow seeps into the insecurity and somehow in Nigerian, or make light of it just, for clickbait. And I'll start jumping on it. And now I really need to talk about this, and because one of my main agenda is mental health and all. And I'm also aware of how short people's attention span is. And I keep on making long videos. Just bear with me. I just feel like, you invest into things you enjoy and all. So the more I keep talking, I can't just rush things just because, I want to attract views. Okay, the truth is more important to me. Authenticity is more important to me. Healing is more important to me. I will sit down and talk about it. That's why I didn't make this about Papa Ijesha, I will come around it. But this week I have to focus on it. Why it's happening? Because it has to stop. At least we women need to be aware enough to protect ourselves, and protect ourselves from who? Because even the justice system, they don't even respect rape. That's why Princess has been crying there's no justice and all. Like, a lot of things, and even pedophile there's no concrete law for pedophile, because it's a part of the states that practice a kind of law that supports pedophilia. So you look at all these things. Okay, that's why you talk of rape, you go to the prison, you go to the police that are supposed to protect you. They ask you where the evidence, and you show them evidence. Well, it's either they take money from the perpetrator, give you, and some the money might even be as little as something as anything. Not like any amount of money is big enough to buy your sanity, buy justice. But then again, at least if someone must insult you, if someone must abuse you, the person should compensate you. But it's so low. But because integrity, value for life is non-existent, is non-existent in our community as of this moment, to practice within the false community. You see, they even insult you, even beat you, and it depends. Except the victim parents are well-to-do, are quite buoyant. But if they're not, if they're just the common man, you even see the policeman flogging the father like, be woman, this and that. And again, even a husband cannot rape the wife. It's expected of us to just submit our body and all. Now, I understand that men go through this too. This is not a competition, okay? But let's look at it, since we are using critical thinking here, okay? Okay, so If the women who are viewed as non-important in this culture, there's a reason why they shoot guns 6 times in my culture when they give birth to boy, even if it's just a male or might turn out to be an armed robber or a nuisance. They will shoot it and probably shoot one gun for the woman because it's like you're so insignificant. And in my culture, if you're just giving birth to a girl, the girl might be deemed unfit, unworthy, and all. It happens here. So if we women who are viewed as lesser than, okay, for the sake of this video I'll use this, if we women who are viewed as lesser than can be protected, if we are protected, guess what, it automatically goes to the male child. But we always want to make it about gender, or we always want to make it about women playing the victim, always want to make it light of every situation. Okay, because we are not viewed as human beings. Because if we are viewed as human beings, our body being objectified or being perpetuated will mean a lot. Okay, so that's it. This is where I will be ending this video for now, and I'll be doing another one because really we need to be at least aware enough to protect ourselves. Even if the world do not protect us, we have to stick up ourselves. And it's really appalling seeing women who are also perpetrators or rape apologists, and they don't even understand the plight as a woman. And this is because most of these women are pygmies. Okay, they seek male validation. They can't stand as women. Okay, just because they have the gentrifications of women and all that doesn't mean they are women. Okay, and just like men are dusties, women are dusties too, the desperate ones. Okay, because we even live in a male worshipping culture. So hey, so this is where I end my video for now. Drop your comments, make sure you subscribe and ring the notification button. Till I see you, take care, bye.